The $27 million secret shaking the tennis world. The tennis world just exploded. And I don't mean that in an exaggerated way. For weeks, mysterious whispers have been creeping through the corridors of power in professional tennis. Encrypted messages between agents. Phone calls behind closed doors. But nothing, I repeat, nothing could have prepared us for the shock that just occurred. We are talking about a meeting so secret that it didn't just change the life of a young athlete. It rewrote the entire economic rulebook of world women's tennis. $27 million US dollars. Not pesos, not tournament prize money, but a massive sponsorship contract signed in absolute secrecy. Imagine this. You're 20 years old. You walk into a room thinking this is just a routine strategy meeting about your upcoming schedule. Your hands are sweating. You're mentally preparing to discuss backhand techniques and clay court tactics. And then you open the door. Standing before you are two gods of the sporting world. On the left, Rafael Nadal, the man who taught you everything about the fighting spirit on a tennis court, the king of clay himself, looking at you with that intense gaze that has terrified opponents for 2 decades. On the right, leaning back comfortably but radiating a fierce aura that could burn through steel, is Michael Jordan. Yes, that Michael Jordan, the man who turned basketball into a religion, who built a billion-dollar empire from a swoosh logo and pure will. And you, Alexandra Eala, the pride of the Philippines, are about to have your entire world turned upside down. Because sitting on the table between these two sporting legends is a contract worth $27 million. The kind of money that doesn't just secure your future, but the future of your family for generations. The kind of money that makes tennis veterans' jaws drop. The kind of money that announces to the world that a revolution has begun. But before we dig deep into every juicy detail of this bombshell, I need to say something from the bottom of my heart. If you are looking for the place to update the hottest stories and the deepest analyses of the world tennis scene, subscribe to Pro Tennis 360 right now. We are building a community of true tennis fans, and you deserve to be part of this family. Because what I'm about to reveal to you in the next 20 minutes isn't just a standard business deal. This is a story about power, about vision, and about how two sporting legends just bet their entire reputations on a 20-year-old girl from Manila. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single second of this story. Who is Alexandra Eala? The journey from Manila to Mallorca. Alright, let's rewind the tape a bit. Because to understand why this $27 million deal is so important, you need to know exactly who Alexandra Eala is and what she had to overcome to reach this moment. Alex Eala is not an unfamiliar name to those who follow junior tennis. But to the vast majority of casual fans, she is still a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Born in 2005, Eala started holding a racket at a very young age in the Philippines, a country where basketball and boxing dominate, but tennis is still finding its footing. But from the very first days, everyone around her realized there was something special. Not just raw talent, but something deeper. A fighting spirit that never accepts defeat. An intense focus rarely seen in children. And most importantly, a humility and work ethic that left coaches in awe. In 2018, at the age of 13, Eala made the decision that would define her entire career. She left the Philippines, left her family, to join the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. Let me emphasize this. 13 years old. Most kids that age are worried about homework and school drama. Alex Eala crossed half the world to chase her dream. And at the Nadal Academy, she didn't just learn tennis. She learned the Nadal philosophy. She learned how to fight for every point as if it were the last point of her career. She learned never to give up, never to find excuses, never to accept anything but absolute excellence. Now, this is where things get interesting. In 2022, at age 17, Eala did something no Filipino player, male or female, had ever done. She won the junior girls singles title at the US Open. Not just some small tournament, a Grand Slam, one of the 4 most prestigious titles in the world. She defeated top young talents from across the globe, proving that her training under the mentorship of Rafa Nadal was paying off. That wasn't luck. It was the result of thousands of hours of silent practice, hundreds of sessions where the body ached so much it wanted to quit, but the mind kept saying, one more ball. That is the Nadal DNA transformed into action. After dominating the juniors, Eala didn't make the mistake many young talents do, rushing into the pro arena and burning out. Instead, she chose the unglamorous path through the ITF circuit, step by step building mental and physical strength. She learned how to win even when not at her best. She learned to handle pressure. She learned to compete week after week without getting exhausted. And then, the historical milestone. She broke into the WTA Top 150, becoming the highest-ranked Filipino player in history. Not just in women's tennis, but in all of Philippine tennis history. She won gold medals representing her country at the SEA Games. Every step showed steady and undeniable progress. But here is the most important thing. She didn't emerge thanks to one magical tournament and then disappear. She built a competitive foundation that can be sustained for a 20-year career. And Michael Jordan, the man with an eye for seeing greatness from afar, saw this. Rafa Nadal, who spent his whole career perfecting young talent, saw this. And this is why they bet $27 million. The secret meeting, the room where history was written. Now we come to the part everyone has been waiting for. Exactly what happened in that room. According to several sources close to the negotiations, and trust me, I verified this information from multiple sides, this meeting took place at an undisclosed private facility. The most likely possibility is at the infrastructure of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, or perhaps at a secure location in the United States where the Jordan brand headquarters is based. The level of secrecy was unprecedented. No media alerts, no social media posts, no paparazzi tipped off. Just pure power concentrated in one room. According to internal reports currently leaking from several directions, Eala arrived at this meeting with expectations of standard work. Perhaps some tactical discussions about her 2026 season. Maybe conversations about adding a strength coach or adjusting the tournament calendar. Instead, she walked through that door and time stopped. There they were, Rafael Nadal, her mentor, and the man who shaped her into the warrior she is today, sitting with the focused look he usually wears when he's down match point at Wimbledon. And next to him, with the unmistakable presence that dominated basketball courts for 15 years, was Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Let me make one important thing clear here. Michael Jordan does not just show up at meetings. He doesn't waste a minute of his day on athletes who are just good or just promising. Jordan invests in greatness. He invests in that killer instinct, that championship DNA, that refusal to accept anything less than legendary status. And the fact that he personally sat in this room looking across the table at a 20-year-old player from the Philippines tells you everything you need to know about what he sees in Alexandra Eala. This isn't charity. This isn't a gimmick. This is Michael Jordan recognizing a future champion and deciding to be part of that journey. The number that made the entire tennis community completely lose their cool is $27 million. Let that sink in for a bit. $27 million. In the world of tennis economics, outside the holy trinity of Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, or icons like Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka, upfront sponsorship deals of this scale for a rising star are almost unheard of. This is NBA superstar money. This is Formula One driver money. This is the kind of financial commitment that signals someone isn't just betting on potential. They are betting the house on inevitable greatness. So what exactly is this deal? While the official contracts are locked behind non-disclosure agreements tighter than Fort Knox, and lawyers have ensured every detail is protected, the whispers coming from those close to the negotiations are absolutely insane. This appears to be an unprecedented three-way partnership tested in professional sports at this level. We are talking about the aggressive expansion of the Jordan brand into tennis, leveraged strategically through the prestige and training infrastructure of the Rafa Nadal Academy, with Alexandra Eala positioned as the global face of this entire campaign. This isn't a standard sponsorship contract where you wear a patch on your sleeve and smile for a few commercials. This is a comprehensive partnership. Industry insiders are suggesting we are looking at a multi-year commitment that includes The development of a signature shoe line designed specifically for Eala's playing style, a global ambassador role for both the Jordan brand and the Rafa Nadal Academy, and direct access to training facilities and recovery resources that only billionaire-backed athletes could dream of. And this is where the story gets really fascinating. Why Michael Jordan? A lesson in vision and scale. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why is Michael Jordan interested in tennis? And more importantly, why is he betting a part of his business reputation on a 20-year-old player who hasn't won a Grand Slam yet? The answer lies in understanding that Michael Jordan is not just a basketball legend. He is a billionaire businessman first. And he didn't build that empire by making emotional decisions. There is a massive business calculation here that we cannot ignore. Look at the Asian market, specifically Southeast Asia. This is a population of over 100 million people in the Philippines alone, people who are passionate about sports, extremely loyal to their heroes, and incredibly vocal on social media. We had the great Li Na from China, who won 2 Grand Slams and became a national hero. We have Naomi Osaka representing Japan with her massive global brand. But the Philippines? That is an untapped market waiting for a superstar they can truly claim as their own. Jordan understands that if he backs Eala with the full weight of his brand and his mentorship, he isn't just backing an individual player. He is tapping into a cultural movement. He is positioning himself at the center of a market where millions of fans will buy every single item Eala touches. Every headband, every wristband, every pair of shoes, every piece of clothing. All will fly off the shelves in Manila, Cebu, Davao, and Filipino communities worldwide. But beyond the pure business calculation, there is the mentorship aspect that might be even more valuable than the money. Imagine being 20 years old and having Michael Jordan's personal phone number to ask for advice on mental strength. Imagine calling MJ when you are struggling with the pressure of being called the next big thing, and him telling you stories about his rookie year, about dealing with massive expectations, about converting pressure into performance. That psychological edge, that access to the most mentally tough competitor in sports history, is worth more than any contract. That is the kind of edge that wins Grand Slams. That is the difference between being good and being a legend. Jordan has been through it all. The pressure of failing in key playoffs, the media scrutiny, the weight of global expectations. He knows exactly what to say when you are in Eala's position. And here is what many don't realize about Jordan. He doesn't invest in losers. He doesn't link his brand with people who don't have championship DNA. His entire identity is built on excellence and winning. So his personal presence in that room with Alexandra Eala is not a favor granted arbitrarily. It is a seal of approval saying, "This girl is a champion." When Michael Jordan says that about you, the world listens. Sponsors listen. Tournaments listen. Opponents listen. And suddenly, you aren't just a promising player. You are a global phenomenon waiting to explode. The role of Rafael Nadal, the mentor passing the torch. Now we must talk about Rafael Nadal, because his role in all of this cannot be underestimated. This meeting feels like Rafa is passing the torch, not necessarily his specific playing style, though Eala is left-handed like him and has certainly absorbed elements of his tactical approach, but his legacy of excellence and champion-developing reputation. Nadal has always been extremely protective of the young players training at his academy in Mallorca. He treats them like extended family. He isn't building a tennis factory. He is building a family of warriors who understand the meaning of suffering on the court and earning every point. By personally bringing Michael Jordan to the table and facilitating this negotiation, Nadal is essentially putting his entire reputation on the line and telling the sporting world, "I vouch for this player. I believe in her completely." That is the ultimate endorsement. Nadal is known globally for his humility, his respect for the sport, and his belief that hard work conquers all. He would not align himself with a talent that shines for 6 months and then disappears. He values sustained excellence, mental toughness, and character above all. If Rafa Nadal sits in that room and personally tells Michael Jordan she has what it takes to be a champion, then Jordan listens. And clearly, he believed it. This deal also fundamentally transforms the Rafa Nadal Academy from just being an elite training facility into a legitimate power broker in global sports business. They aren't just teaching forehands and backhands and fitness anymore. They are creating millionaires. They are creating global superstars. They are proving that their development model works not just on the court, but in the boardroom. This sends an incredibly clear message to every young player and every tennis parent across the world. If you want to be great, if you want world-class training, and if you want to be positioned for generational wealth, you come to train with Rafa. The Academy's reputation was already excellent, but this deal elevates it to a completely different level. And it's the perfect win-win relationship. Eala gets the resources and support needed to become a champion. The Nadal Academy gets living proof of the excellence of their system. And Rafa? He is building a legacy that goes far beyond any individual trophy he has won. Because in the end, he will be remembered not just as a Grand Slam winner, but as the man who shaped the next generation of champions. Business analysis. Why $27 million? All right, let's talk about the money. Because this is the part everyone is curious about. $27 million is a massive number. But it's not random. There is a cold business logic behind every dollar in that deal. Let me break it down for you. For Eala, this money removes every single financial pressure that can crush promising tennis careers before they can bloom. The cost of traveling to tournaments across the world with a full team? Easily hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Top physiotherapists who understand the specific needs of professional athletes' bodies? Another massive expense. Access to private jets, so you can manage your schedule without exhaustion from commercial travel? Elite nutritionists optimizing every meal for performance? Sports psychologists helping you handle the pressure of being your nation's hope? All of that is now covered. But there is also a massive business calculation here that we cannot ignore. Jordan is a billionaire businessman first. And he didn't build that empire by making emotional decisions. There is a massive market in Asia, specifically Southeast Asia, waiting for a tennis superstar they can truly claim as their own. We had the great Li Na from China, who won 2 Grand Slams and became a national hero. We have Naomi Osaka representing Japan with her massive global brand. But the Philippines, that is a population of over 100 million people who are passionate about sports, extremely loyal to their heroes, and incredibly vocal on social media. Jordan understands that if he backs Eala with the full weight of his brand and his mentorship, he isn't just backing an individual player. He is tapping into a cultural movement. He is positioning himself at the center of a market where millions of fans will buy every single item Eala touches. Think about the revenue potential. A signature shoe designed for Eala, sold at $150 a pair. If just 1% of the Philippine population buys a pair, that's 1 million people. We are talking about $150 million in revenue from a single product. And that's just the Philippines. We haven't talked about Indonesia, 270 million people, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and the entire global Asian diaspora. Market analysis firms estimate the Asian sporting goods market will reach $150 billion by 2030. Jordan Brand wants a piece of that pie. And guess what? Alexandra Eala is their golden key. But beyond pure ROI, there is the brand factor. Jordan Brand has dominated basketball for decades. They've had a presence in football. But tennis? This is a new frontier. And by going big with Eala, they are sending a message. We are serious about tennis. We are here to stay. And we will invest in winners. This isn't a trial. This is a statement of intent. And in business, statements like this create market momentum that changes entire industries. Market impact, the Philippine and Asian tsunami. Now let's talk about the ripple effect. Because this deal isn't just about one player. It's about an entire continent awakening to its own potential. The Philippines has a complex history with international sports. Boxing? They gave the world Manny Pacquiao. Basketball? They are obsessed with it to the point of madness. But tennis? It was always an elite sport for those who could afford international travel and private coaching. Alexandra Eala is changing that. She is proving that a girl from Manila can not only compete at the highest level but dominate. She is proving that with hard work, the right mentorship, and opportunity, anything is possible. And the psychological effect on a generation of Filipino children is immeasurable. How many young girls will now pick up a racket for the first time because they see someone who looks like them succeeding? How many families will now invest in tennis coaching for their children because they see where it leads? This isn't just about Alex Eala anymore. This is about opening the door for an entire generation. But let's zoom out a bit further. All of Southeast Asia is watching. Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam. All these countries have hungry young populations and rapidly growing sports markets. They are watching and wondering, why not us? Jordan Brand understands this. They aren't just signing Eala. They are creating a movement. They are saying to every young talent in Asia, if you have the talent, if you have the drive, if you have the championship spirit, we will invest in you. And this is the beauty of smart global branding. You don't just sell shoes. You sell hope. You sell inspiration. You sell the belief that dreams can happen. That is why kids in every corner of the world wear Air Jordans. Not because of the shoes, but because of what the shoes represent. And now, in tennis, Alexandra Eala becomes the living emblem of that. She becomes the proof that if you work hard enough, if you believe strongly enough, if you find the right mentors, nothing is impossible. Market analysts predict that this deal alone could increase tennis participation in Southeast Asia by 200 to 300% over the next 5 years. We are talking about millions of new kids starting to play tennis, thousands of new courts being built, hundreds of new training academies opening their doors. And all of that started with a $27 million deal signed in a secret room. Meaning for women's tennis, a revolution in the making. Now we must talk about the bigger picture for women's tennis in general, because this deal isn't just about Eala or the Philippines. It is about a fundamental shift in the power dynamics within the WTA Tour. For decades, the biggest sponsorship deals and most lucrative opportunities have primarily gone to players from Western Europe and North America. There were exceptions, Lina Osaka, but they were exceptions, not the rule. Now, the East is rising. This deal signals that the tennis world is becoming truly global, not just in where tournaments are held, but in where power and money flow. It is also a revolution in how tennis players are managed and developed from a business perspective. The old model was brutally simple. Win first, prove yourself at the highest level, and then maybe sponsors will call with big offers. The new model advocated by visionaries like Michael Jordan, who understands modern sports marketing, is fundamentally different. Identify transcendent talent early. Fund them like a Silicon Valley startup. Provide them every possible resource to succeed. And then watch them dominate while your brand rides that success to massive profits. It is a venture capital approach applied to athlete development. And Alexandra Eala is the unicorn investment that everyone will study in business schools. Women's tennis is currently in a fascinating transitional era. We have Iga Swiatek dominating on clay and establishing herself as the next multi-Grand Slam champion. We have the power game of Aryna Sabalenka winning Australian Opens. We have Coco Gauff becoming a star in the U.S. with her U.S. Open title and her activism. But the door is wide open for new contenders, new stories, and new geographical diversity in the winner's circle. The sport desperately needs new stories. It needs players from different parts of the world to shake up the established order. And this is what Eala brings. She isn't just another player competing for titles. She is a cultural phenomenon waiting to explode. She represents a new region, a new market, a new generation of fans who have never had a champion to call their own. And when she wins her first Grand Slam, not if, but when, the entire tennis landscape will change forever. History being written before our eyes. We are witnessing history unfold in real time. And the beauty of it is that this is just the beginning. The secret meeting is no longer a secret. The news is out for the world to see. The contracts are signed. The checks have cleared. The machinery is in motion. Alexandra Eala now has the backing of the god of basketball and the king of clay. The 2026 season isn't just another year of tennis tournaments. It is the official launch of a new era. It is the start of what could be a Hall of Fame career. It is the beginning of the Philippine tennis revolution. It is proof that the sport is evolving, that opportunities are expanding, and that the next generation of champions can come from places we haven't traditionally looked. This isn't just a feel-good story about a player getting a big deal. This is a story about power shifting, about opportunity expanding, about dreams becoming reality. And beneath all the business talk and massive numbers, this is a story about a young woman who sacrificed everything, who believed in herself when others doubted, who crossed half the world to chase greatness. And now, that greatness is finding her back. I really want to hear from you in the comments. Do you believe Alex Eala can live up to the massive hype and expectations that come with a $27 million deal? What do you think Michael Jordan actually said to her in that room when it was just the three of them? What does this deal mean for the future of Asian tennis and for young players across the world watching? Let's get a real debate going in the comments. I read every single one, and I love engaging with all of you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the biggest story in tennis, please subscribe to Pro Tennis 360 right now. We just passed 1,000 subscribers, and we are moving towards 10,000 strong. You absolutely do not want to miss the coverage we have planned for the upcoming Australian Open. It's going to be incredible. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and be part of the most passionate community of tennis fans on YouTube. Because we don't just report the news. We are creating a movement. We are building a family of people who live and breathe tennis and understand that the best stories aren't just about scores. They are about people, about dreams, about moments that change everything forever. This is Pro Tennis 360, your home for the most passionate tennis coverage on YouTube. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the game is always changing. The sport is always evolving. And we are here to cover every single bounce of the ball. Cheers. Stay safe out there. And never stop believing in the power of a dream. Would you like me to create a detailed technical breakdown of her game or perhaps a profile on other rising stars from the Asian circuit?